All right, today we are cracking the code on a really big deal in India, a new law that's completely changing the game for your personal data. So let's get right into it.
You know the feeling. We've all been there, right? Your phone buzzes, it's some random number, and suddenly you're getting a sales pitch for a loan you don't need. And that one question just pops into your head. Wait, how in the world did they get my number? Well, it seems the government has been asking that same question, and their answer is this brand new law, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. You'll hear it called the DPDPA, and we're going to break down what this actually means for, well, everyone.
First thing to note, this is not just some small tweak to the old rules. No, this is the start of a whole new era for data in India. I mean, think about how it's worked for years. You go to a website, you see a tiny checkbox next to a wall of text, you click I agree, and boom, you've given away who knows what. Well, the DPDPA basically says, time's up. All that old, vague permission you gave, it's not good enough anymore. It's like a giant reset button has been pushed.
So what happens if businesses just ignore all this? Well, let's just say the stakes have been raised. A lot.
And we are not talking about a little slap on the wrist here. Companies could be looking at huge, huge fines. Their reputation could be toast. And get this, executives could even face potential jail time. And that's before you even get to the nightmare of cleaning up a data breach or having your whole business grind to a halt. It's serious stuff.
Okay, so this all leads to the biggest headache for companies right now. It's what we're calling the Great Consent Challenge. It's all about getting your permission the right way. And this really shows you the heart of the change. The old way, that simple checkbox click, known as a click wrap agreement, it's out. The future, the new requirement, is a proper, legally recognized digital signature. So, what even is a digital signature? Well, it's not just you typing your name. Think of it more like a unique, unbreakable digital fingerprint for a document. It uses some pretty complex math, cryptography, to prove it was really you who signed it and that nobody has messed with it since. It's a way, way higher bar. And you can probably imagine this is a massive, massive challenge. For any company, trying to get a unique digital signature from every single person for every single thing they need permission for, that is just incredibly expensive and technically a nightmare to set up.
This problem is so huge, in fact, that the law actually built in a solution. It created space for an entirely new kind of company to exist. Enter the consent manager.
Which begs the question, right? If getting permission is this hard, how can any company, big or small, realistically handle this?
The answer is the consent manager. It's a new type of business specifically designed to solve this problem. The easiest way to think about them is as your personal data trustee. They're like a digital agent that works for you, managing your privacy and your permissions.
So here's the flow. It's actually pretty simple. You sign up just one time with the consent manager and prove who you are. Then, when some company wants your data, they don't bother you directly. No, they go to your consent manager. The manager then shows you a super clear specific request. If you say yes, and only if you say yes, your approval is securely handled and passed along.
So, we've talked about the companies. But what does all of this mean for you? Well, it means you've got a whole new toolkit of data rights.
The law now calls you a data principal, and that title comes with some serious power. You have the right to access, you can demand to see exactly what data a company has on you, you have the right to correct it if they've got it wrong, you have the right to withdraw consent anytime you want, and the big one, the right to erasure, which is basically the right to tell a company to delete your data for good.
And if you're wondering who's ultimately on the hook for all this, well, the law is crystal clear. The company that asks for your consent is responsible for everything that happens to that data. The buck stops with them.
You know, when you pull it all together, it's obvious this isn't just another regulation. It is a fundamental shift in power. For the first time, the control over your digital life is moving away from the companies and back into your hands.
And that leaves us with one last pretty deep question to think about. For the very first time, your personal data has actual legal rights. So, who really owns it now?